Hey, now we welcome driver of the number 34 CSX Play It Safe Ford for Front Row Motorsports, Chris Buescher. Chris, you are 11 points to the good in the top 30 to lock up your spot in the chase tomorrow evening. How do you feel? What's the mindset?
Uh, yeah, I think we pretty much know what we have to do at Richmond, and that's it's really pretty obvious. We're going to come out here. We're going to control what we can control. Do our best to have a good, clean race, stay out of trouble. All the normal things that you try and do, and go out here and have a good run at Richmond. Historically, not one of my better tracks, but we've been making a little bit of progress on it throughout practice. We're definitely better than we were here earlier in the spring, so I'm happy about that. I wish it was a little cooler, so we knew what we were going to have when it does come around to race time. But at the end of the day, it's we're all in the same boat, so we'll all figure it out together.
All right, thank you, Chris. Questions for Chris Buescher. Start up here with Jim.
JimMotorMotorsport.com. Since your race victory, obviously, you guys have been focusing a lot on getting into the chase and maintaining the top 30. But the way that your team has responded in the last several weeks, the speed you guys have had, even although some of the finishes might not show it, does that give you some confidence that once in, you'll be able to compete with some of these guys that are in the chase?
Yeah, I said it even before Pocono that we had been heading in the right direction for a while, and we had some really good runs without the finishes to show for it. And as recently as Michigan, struggling all day trying to get that issue resolved. A place where we easily could have come out with a really top 20 finish and wouldn't even have to be worrying about our point situation. But as our luck would go for the year, we had an issue, and we're just barely in at this point. I say that, obviously, we had a lot of bad luck, but we had one day of pretty awesome luck as well. What it does for us now, we've seen the speed at a lot of different racetracks, a lot of racetracks that we're going back to for the second time finally. It's places that we should be able to compete well. The mile-and-a-half program over at Front Row Motorsports and Roush Fenway has gotten a lot better throughout the year. And it's just a way to make sure that, yes, we move through the first round and try and get into the top 12 and see where it goes from there.
Go with Sean in the back.
Chris, Sean Robertson, CBS affiliate in town. How do you balance being aggressive tomorrow night and making the chase, but not overly aggressive to fall out of the postseason?
That's actually something we've talked quite a bit about. We are not in a full defensive mode right now. We can't go out here and just say, we just need to run every lap and stay out of everybody's way, and that'll be enough. We aren't in that situation. We don't have that luxury. We're coming out here to race aggressively for every position, every point that we can possibly get without taking unnecessary risk. And so that's, if it's a matter of not being three wide when we go into the corner, if that's a position we need to give up, then we're going to give that up. If it's a matter of racing too wide, racing somebody hard so that we can and get by someone that we've been faster than, yeah, we're gonna race them as hard as we possibly can to be able to maximize our day. Like I said, we can only control what we can control, so that's pretty much our game plan. We're going out here to race, have a really good day, and avoid the risk that would put us in a bad spot and possibly take us out of this chase.
Stay back there.
Hey, Chris, Matt Essert from the NBC station here in town. When it comes to updates from your crew chief, from your spotter, as far as where you stand at any given moment on the track, what's your personal preference as far as that goes? Do you always want to know where you are? Do you want to be kind of left alone in the car, when it comes down to crunch time?
I'm sure everybody already knows, but I'm a very outspoken, loud person. So the short answer is as little information as possible to make it work. Typically I won't say anything on the radio throughout an entire fuel run if that's what it comes down to until they need to know adjustments for a pit stop. So I'll have a pretty good idea of who we're racing for the point situation, and I'll know if we're in front or behind them. We'll get a couple of updates throughout the day just to figure out, if we have a couple green flag stops. If it comes down to that, that'll shake things up and would want to know. But other than that, we're coming out here to run a race. We got to know who we're around at that immediate time, make sure we're clear, and make sure that we're moving forward.
Woody?
Woody came with MRN. Chris, just curious what these last few weeks have been like for you since you got the win and all the swirl around you. Is it like the anticipation of a kid at Christmas, or is it like, keep all that away from me, I just want to focus?
It's kind of like the last handful of weeks last year, raced for the Xfinity Championship. It's just a lot busier, talking a lot about, a lot about the same thing every week. It's, trying to figure out the ideal scenarios so that we can race into the chase and then move through the chase. And, as much as we want to sit down and talk about it and plan it all out, there's 39 other drivers out there on track that have different plans and can alter ours in a hurry. So, there's a lot of anticipation leading up into this weekend throughout the last several weeks. I'm glad we came out of Darlington with a good finish there. I was happy that the car was, for the most part, clean. Then we look at Michigan, and to have our troubles there, that was a depressing day, and that works on you emotionally, just knowing that, that could have been a day to put that cushion in between the drivers that were racing for our top 30 place in points, and we weren't able to capitalize, and things happen. At the end of the day, there's a plan that we have, and it just wasn't meant to be, and that's out of our control. There's freak accidents, and we looked at that scenario, and it was a 1 in 100,000 opportunity, and of course it found us. I mean, what can you do? So we're just going to keep our heads down. We're going to focus as much as we can on tomorrow night's race. I love racing under the lights. We're excited for the race here at Richmond, and like I said, it's not my best track, but been getting better every time we come here, and it should be able to put us in a good position to be able to make the chase. I'm pretty confident that we're in a good spot right now.
Any other questions for Chris? Nope. Over here to the left.
Steve Wilson, SpeedwayDigest.com. You're 11 points ahead of David Reagan. How much do you race him on the track above and beyond, or just staying behind him or trying to stay ahead of him?
The ARCA Championship back in 2012, it was a day where we were racing with Frank Kimmel, last race of the season. We knew that if we could see him, we were fine. That's going to be a similar situation tomorrow night. It's going to be a matter if we can see the 23 car and we can see David, then for the most part we'll know we're okay. Got to be on the same lap, obviously, or preferably a lap ahead if possible. But if we're within distance to where we can be around them and racing them, that's not 11 spots, and so that's what we're going to focus on. We got to be careful. There's guys, Jamie McMurray, Ryan Newman, that are going to be racing extremely aggressively, trying to get into this thing. We got to be really careful around certain drivers, and we're going out there to race. And when I talk about unnecessary risk, that's David Reagan's not one that we need to sit there and knock the doors off of each other, knowing that we can be a couple spots behind and still be safe.
Any final questions for Chris? Okay. Thank you, Chris. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you all very much.